Remember, the amount that I spend for food in a week, it all depends in the area that you live. So different areas sell things at different prices.
Missing someone.
Good morning, how you doing? I hope you're good. I hope you're keeping safe and staying at home if you can. So if you're new here, I go by the name Vivian Odhiambo, aka Fashion Guru Kenya, aka Mtoto wa Homa Bay County. So today I'm just going to tell you how much I spend for food in Nairobi in a week. Remember, the amount that I spend for food in a week, it all depends in the area that you live. So different areas sell things at different prices. The prices in Westlands, the prices in Southlands, the prices in Eastlands, all different prices. So this is according to where I live. This is what I spend for food. And also remember, if you do your shopping in advance, like your monthly shopping in advance, the food that you buy every day, the food that you buy every day, the general amount that you spend on food goes down because most of the things you have in the house. Okay, so that is tip number one. Always have a monthly shopping, so that the things that you buy every day, you end up spending less. Anyway, without any further ado, let's just go straight into the video of how much I spend for food in a week in Nairobi. Let's start with on Monday. So on Monday, I had chapati for breakfast and black tea. So I have tea leaves in the house, I have water in the house, and then for the chapati, the all-purpose flour was part of my monthly shopping. So that is what I had cooked last night for dinner, which is Sunday for dinner. So that is what I was having for breakfast today. So how much did I spend for breakfast today? It was 0 Kenya shillings because everything I had in advance. Lunchtime again, I'm having chapati and beans. I had bought beans the previous night for 50 shillings a cup. Okay, yes, a cup for 50 shillings. So in ideal, today I've spent nothing because that is left over from last night. Guy flom, that is left over from last night. Okay, now for dinner we had mayai, ugali, and sukuma wiki. So I have maize flour in the house, so I did not spend anything because that was part of my monthly shopping. I have eggs in the house, so I did not spend anything. That is part of my monthly shopping. So what I bought was sukuma wiki. Sukuma wiki is kales. So I bought sukuma wiki and some spinaches and some terere from Mama Mboga. Mama Mboga is the lady that sells us vegetables. That costs me 20 Kenya shillings. And I bought tomato tatumbao, 3 for 20 shillings. So yeah, so how much did I spend that day? On Monday I spent, let's go to on Tuesday. On Tuesday I had mandazi for breakfast. So mandazi one goes for 5 shillings, so I bought 4, that is 20 Kenya shillings. At lunchtime, don't mind me, I'm reading. At lunchtime I bought bajia. I love bajia. Oh my god, these fly. At lunchtime I bought bajia. Wait. Is it gone? I bought bajia. That was 30 Kenya shillings. That is what I had for lunch. And then for dinner I had rice and potatoes. So I have rice in the house, so I did not spend anything on rice. I bought potatoes for 30 shillings a tin.
Waru sasa.
So that day I spent 30 shillings for potatoes. I spent 10 shillings for dania, and I spent 5 shillings for Royco cubes. So how much did I spend in total? I spent, let me just throw this in before we go further. So every day at dinner we have a fruit, either bananas or whatever fruit is on season. So bananas is always on season 365 days, every day in a year in Kenya here. At least that is what I know, because we have bananas most of the time. So but right now we have pineapples. Pineapples are on season, so we have been having pineapples and bananas a lot before dinner. Okay, okay, let's go to on Wednesday. On Wednesday we had leftover rice. So I had rice and tea, black tea. I love black tea. I love black tea for breakfast. At lunch I had the leftover rice and potatoes. So all the whole day I've spent 0 Kenya shillings. Okay, and then for dinner we had fish and ugali.
Te sigo buscando, tanto, tanto, tanto llevo, pero no encuentro rastro que me diga si es que estoy cerca. Cuando
So
quiero.
fish I bought for 250 Kenya shillings. Ugali, I have the maize flour in the house, so the whole day I spent 250 shillings for fish and 10 shillings for dania. So the 210 Kenya shillings. Sorry, I spent 200 on fish. So I spent 210 fish plus buying dania. Dania is coriander. On Thursday, I bought again mandazi for breakfast for 20 Kenya shillings. I bought bajia for lunch. I love those bajias from that lady. She sells the best bajia. And then she pimas a lot for me because I'm a customer. So I had bajia for 30 bob. So breakfast I used 20 shillings, lunch I used 30 shillings, and then for dinner we had rice and beans. So we have rice in the house. I did not buy rice and I bought beans, 1 cup for 50 Kenya shillings. I again
Te sigo buscando, tanto, tanto, tanto llevo, pero no encuentro.
bought tomatoes 3 for 20 shillings. Listen to me, if you're able to buy a lot of tomatoes and store them in the house and use them an entire week or even for 2 weeks, that would be better than buying tomatoes the way I'm buying tatumbao. We don't cook a lot. Most of the time we only cook dinner, so that's why I buy little tomatoes, because we don't cook a lot. If you're someone that cooks lunch and dinner every day, please buy your tomatoes in bulk. That can last you a week, that can last you 2 weeks. It's easier, it's cheaper. Okay, okay, so for breakfast I spent 20 shillings, lunch 30 shillings, and for dinner I spent 50 bob plus. On Friday I had rice from last night for breakfast, so I did not spend anything. Lunch I also had the same rice and beans, so I did not spend anything. And for dinner we had liver, ugali and vegetables. Now liver we spent 140 shillings for liver, and then ugali we have it in the house, and then veggies we bought veggies worth 20 Kenya shillings. So on that day I spent. On Saturday again I had mandazi for breakfast. I spent 20 shillings on mandazi. Lunch I had the leftover of liver and vegetables and ugali. I cooked ugali afresh though, so I didn't spend anything at lunchtime. And at dinner we had chicken and ugali.
My heart's beating, boom, boom,
So chicken, 250 Kenya shillings, and ugali, of course. I have maize flour in the house. And then I bought again tomatoes, 3 for 20 shillings. So how much did I spend? On Sunday we had again mandazi and tea. Mandazi is 20 Kenya shillings. We have mandazi a lot in this house, yeah. And then on lunchtime, during lunchtime, we had chicken and rice. Chicken from last night, and then rice we have in the house. So at lunchtime, we spent nothing. And then during dinner, I made chapatis. And then we had that with beans. Beans a cup for 50 Kenya shillings. So that means that that day I spent. That's why I told you on Monday I had chapatis. They were from Sunday. I made them on Sunday, okay? And then there are days we cook pilau. There are days we wake up in the morning and I decide I want to bake a cake, which, by the way, I baked a cake. They are here on YouTube. You can watch them to see how to bake a cake without an oven. I have baked the classic cake. I've baked a carrot cake. We have baked an orange cake. Orange cake we did with an oven with my friend. The carrot cake and the classic cake, we used no oven to bake that cake. I used no oven to bake that cake. Okay, so whatever I've told you today I spent for food in a week here in Nairobi, this list changes every day. The prices are constant most of the time, but the list changes. We don't eat the same thing all the time. This is just a typical week. There are days that things change, like those days that I've told you we eat pilau, those days that I've told you that we have cake for breakfast, those days that I've told you I cook mandazi and then we have that mandazi for breakfast for at least 2 or 3 days. Cake 2 or 3 days. Okay, so tell me, if you are in Nairobi, how much do you spend for food in Nairobi in a week? Okay, don't forget to subscribe. Click on that notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Bye bye.